The real purpose of marriage, an Islamic wake-up call full. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most wise. Today, at this very moment, the Muslim Ummah faces many crises. Economic pressure, political instability, social confusion, moral decline. But among all these storms, one crisis stands above them all. One crisis that silently breaks our homes, our children, our future. The collapse of the Muslim marriage. This collapse is not sudden. It is not random. It is not without cause. It is the result of decades of forgetting Allah, forgetting His book, forgetting the Sunnah, and forgetting the true purpose of marriage. Allah calls marriage a sign among His signs, a miracle, a healing, a shelter, a source of tranquility. And among His signs is that He created for you spouses from among yourselves, so that you may find tranquility in them, and He placed between you love and mercy. Quran 30:21. But look around today. Where is the tranquility? Where is the mercy? Where is the love? In most homes, there is shouting. There is ego. There is comparison. There is coldness. There is resentment. There is emotional distance. Instead of sakun, there is stress. Instead of mercy, there is manipulation. Instead of love, there is competition. Instead of unity, there is division.
Why?
Because we lost the Islamic meaning of marriage and replaced it with the Western meaning of marriage. Because we transformed marriage from a mission into a fantasy, from a responsibility into a game, from a divine bond into a legal contract. And now we are paying the price. 0.3s. Section 1. What marriage was never meant to be. 0.3s. Marriage in Islam was never designed to be a Hollywood love story, an Instagram display, a drama episode, a temporary high, a dream of desire, a contract of convenience, a ticket to social status. Yet these are the standards people use today. Husbands expect perfection. Wives expect fantasy. Families expect culture. Society expects show. No one asks, what does Allah expect? What did the Prophet teach? What does Islam define? The tragedy is this. We design marriages using human expectations, then complained when they failed the divine purpose. ***. Islam never promised perfect spouse, perfect life, perfect compatibility, perfect communication, perfect routine. But Islam promised something far greater. A partner to help you obey Allah. A companion to save you from sin. A friend to support you in worship. A teammate in the mission of life. ***. Marriage is not about perfection. It is about patience, forgiveness, mercy, responsibility, and taqwa, God consciousness. Marriage is not built by love first. It is built by commitment. And through commitment, true love grows. 0.3s. Section 2. What marriage truly is, Islamic definition. Now listen carefully. This is the core. This is the foundation. This is the truth that can rebuild any broken home. In Islam, marriage is one. An ibadah, act of worship. Every smile, every sacrifice, every patience, every forgiveness, every act of intimacy, every effort to please your spouse is written as ibadah, as long as it is for Allah. That is why the Prophet said, the best among you is the one who is best to his wife. Being good to your spouse is not personality. It is religion. 2. A covenant before Allah. Marriage is a contract, yes, but not a civil contract. It is a sacred covenant, witnessed by the heavens. Allah calls it a firm and binding covenant. Quran 4:21. This means breaking it without reason is breaking your duty to Allah. 3. A shield against sin. The Prophet said, marriage protects half of your faith.
Why?
Because marriage controls the gaze, regulates desires, purifies the heart, stabilizes the soul, builds discipline, teaches responsibility, reduces temptation, and strengthens taqwa. Without marriage, societies collapse morally. With marriage done right, they flourish. 4. a partnership of righteousness. Marriage is not, I need you to complete me. It is, we complete each other through Allah. You are not two individuals. You are one unit, one team, one mission. Allah says, they are garments for you, and you are garments for them. Quran 2:187. Garments hide flaws. Garments protect. Garments beautify. Garments provide comfort. This is what spouses must be for each other. Section 3. Why marriages break today. Let us speak with honesty and courage. The number one reason marriages break today. Quran left the house. Sunnah left the lifestyle. Islam left the marriage. And something else entered. Ego, selfishness, pride, expectations, entertainment culture, social media pressure, unrealistic fantasies, Western ideas, family interference, lack of sabr, lack of shukr. Marriage became my needs first, my rights first, my comfort first. But Islam teaches, your rights upon me, your comfort before mine. Your ease is my responsibility. Spouses today behave like competitors, not companions. Everyone is counting. I did more for you. You didn't do enough for me. You don't appreciate me. You don't care about me. Marriage cannot survive accounting. It survives mercy. Section 4. The role of the husband, Islamic standard. The husband in Islam is the guardian, the leader, the maintainer, the protector, the provider, the shepherd of his home. Allah says, men are caretakers of women. Quran 4:34. Caretaker means protector, supporter, maintainer, emotional anchor, financial provider, moral leader, gentle guide. A husband's strength is not in anger, dominance, or control. It is in patience, kindness, generosity, self-control, emotional intelligence, compassion, sacrifice. The Prophet never shouted at his wives, never insulted them, never made them feel small. He said, the strongest man is the one who controls his anger. Section 5. The role of the wife, Islamic standard. The wife in Islam is the heart of the home, the dignity of the family, the emotional center, the nourisher of souls, the teacher of children, the guardian of loyalty, the source of mercy. Allah honors women. Islam honors women. The Prophet honored women. A wife's beauty is not in clothes, makeup, or social media attention. Her beauty is in loyalty, modesty, intelligence, wisdom, support, faith, character. A righteous wife is described by the Prophet as the best treasure a man can have. Not wealth, not gold, not assets. A righteous spouse is the greatest blessing. Section 6. The truth about love. People say, I don't feel love anymore. But Islam teaches, love is not found. Love is placed. Allah places love between two hearts. When both hearts obey Him, love grows through mercy, forgiveness, time, effort, gratitude, patience, kindness, sacrifice, and love dies through ego, disrespect, neglect, insults, comparison, selfishness, lies. Love needs actions, not just emotions. Respect creates love. Kindness grows love. Forgiveness protects love. Dua revives love. Section 7. Connecting marriage back to Allah. If you want to fix your marriage, you must first fix your relationship with Allah. Because the one who places love is the one who removes love. Bring Allah back into your home, into your routine, into your conversations, into your decisions, into your conflicts, into your hearts. Start with Quran recitation at home, Sunnah in daily routine, dua for each other, gratitude for each other, sabr with each other, mercy towards each other, and Allah will fill the home with sakun. Section 8. The spiritual dimension of marriage. Most people think marriage is only an emotional or social relationship. But in Islam, marriage has a spiritual dimension that is far deeper. Marriage is a training ground for the soul. It forces the believer to confront ego, pride, selfishness, impatience, anger, insecurity, weakness. And through this confrontation, the soul begins to grow. Marriage polishes the soul the way storms polish a stone. Allah tests the husband through responsibility, patience, generosity, leadership. Allah tests the wife through sacrifice, loyalty, compassion, respect. Marriage becomes a mirror, reflecting your true self. It shows you, are you patient? Are you merciful? Are you forgiving? Can you control your anger? Can you put someone else before yourself? Do you care about Allah more than your ego? For many people, marriage is the greatest test and the greatest opportunity to earn Allah's pleasure. The Prophet said, "The most perfect believer in faith is the one who is best in character, and the best in character is the one who is best to his family." That means your character is not tested in the masjid, not on social media, not at weddings, not in public. It is tested inside your home, with the people you live with daily. Marriage is not about looking good. Marriage is about being good. Section 9. When Shaitan attacks the marriage. No relation is attacked by Shaitan more than the marital relationship. Why? Because if Shaitan destroys the marriage, he destroys the home. If he destroys the home, he destroys the family. If he destroys the family, he destroys the generation. If he destroys the generation, he destroys the ummah. The Prophet told us something shocking. Shaitan places his throne upon water and sends his armies to create division. Asterisk, asterisk. And the biggest reward Shaitan gives is to the one who causes separation between husband and wife. Shaitan says, "You are the one who did the best job." Why? Because separation destroys hearts, destroys futures, destroys children, destroys destiny. Shaitan knows. The home is the center of Islam. The family is the backbone of society. Marriage creates stability and faith. A peaceful home produces righteous children. A broken home produces wounded souls. So he attacks through whispers, through suspicion, through jealousy, through anger, through mistrust, through misunderstanding, through ego. Most marital fights start not from big things, but from whispers planted by Shaitan. Section 10. The ego, the silent destroyer of marriage. If there is one disease that destroys marriages faster than anything else, it is ego. A man says, "I will not apologize first." A woman says, "I will not bend first." A husband says, "I am the leader." A wife says, "I am not weak." Everyone holds on to their ego, as if ego brings happiness. But ego brings nothing, except loneliness. Marriage is not about who is right, or who wins the argument, or who has more power. Marriage is about what is right, and what brings peace, and which decision pleases Allah. A home cannot have two kings or two queens. It needs mutual respect, mutual humility, mutual compromise, mutual mercy. If ego rises, love falls. If ego rises, mercy disappears. If ego rises, communication collapses. If ego rises, Shaitan wins. The Prophet said, "Whoever humbles himself for Allah, Allah raises him." This applies beautifully to marriage. The husband who lowers his ego becomes more respected. The wife who lowers her ego becomes more beloved. Victory in marriage belongs to the one who lowers themselves for Allah, not the one who dominates. Section 11. The problem of expectations. One of the greatest poisons in modern marriage is unrealistic expectations. People expect emotional perfection, constant attention, instant replies, zero flaws, endless love movie style, romance fairy tale behavior, no disagreements, no fatigue, no mistakes. But human beings are not angels. They are not robots. They are not characters in dramas. They are weak, flawed, tired, emotional, and sometimes broken. Today, husbands compare wives to celebrities, models, or social media influencers. Wives compare husbands to fictional men in dramas, or wealthy people online. Comparison kills gratitude. And without gratitude, no relationship can survive. The Prophet advised, look at those who have less than you, not those who are above you. This applies strongly in marriage. Look at the blessings you have, not the ones you imagine. Section 12. The rise of social media misery. Social media is destroying marriages. Like cancer destroys the body. Pictures of perfect couples, perfect homes, perfect vacations, perfect celebrations create a false reality. You look at your spouse and suddenly think, my life is not good enough. My marriage is not romantic enough. My spouse is not attractive enough. My home is not fancy enough. But remember, people only post what they want you to see. You see smiles, but not arguments. You see flowers, but not debts. You see vacations, but not loneliness. You see celebrations, but not stress. You see filtered faces, but not real hearts. Social media creates fantasy marriages, which destroy real marriages. If you stop comparing, you will start appreciating. It has created unrealistic expectations, fake standards, artificial perfection, endless comparison, secret sins, hidden conversations, broken trust. A woman sees perfect couples online and thinks her husband is not enough. A man sees perfect influencers and thinks his wife is not enough. But what they forget is, social media shows the highlight. Marriage is the real life. Couples don't share their midnight arguments, their tears, their sacrifices, their pain, their struggles. They only share smiles, filters, vacations, matching outfits, edited moments. And Muslims are comparing their real life to someone else's edited life. This is destroying homes more quietly than adultery. Because comparison is a subtle poison. You don't even realize you are dying. A believer protects his eyes. A believer protects her heart. A believer protects their marriage. Section 13. The role of patience in marriage. Patience is the oxygen of marriage. Without it, everything suffocates. Allah says, indeed, Allah is with the patient. Quran 2:153. Patience in marriage means patience with flaws, patience with moods, patience with imperfections, patience with delays, patience with mistakes, patience with expectations, patience with weaknesses, patience with responsibilities. Marriage is a journey with seasons. There will be good days, bad days, peaceful days, stressful days, joyful days, confusing days. But a believer never says, I cannot do this anymore. A believer says, with Allah, I can get through anything. Patience is not silence. Patience is emotional strength. Patience is not suppressing pain. Patience is trusting Allah's wisdom. Patience is not fear. Patience is faith. Section 14. The role of forgiveness. Forgiveness is the heart of marriage. Every marriage has misunderstandings, mistakes, miscommunication, frustrations, emotional wounds, pain, regrets. But without forgiveness, these wounds become permanent. The Prophet said, show mercy, and you will receive mercy. If you demand perfection, you will always be disappointed. If you learn to forgive, you will always find peace. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is power. Forgiveness is not losing. Forgiveness is winning the heart. Forgiveness does not erase the past. Forgiveness opens the future. The collapse of the modern Muslim marriage. When homes lose barakah. When a marriage loses barakah, everything begins to feel heavier than it should. A small disagreement becomes a war. A simple request feels like a burden. A minor issue turns into a major wound. This is because barakah does not leave a home suddenly. It leaves slowly, quietly, painfully, as Allah's commands are ignored one by one. And today in our Muslim homes, the barakah is disappearing drop by drop.
Why?
Because marriages today are built on expectations instead of sacrifice, complaints instead of gratitude, rights instead of responsibilities, ego instead of humility, screens instead of connection, anger instead of mercy. A home where Allah's name is rarely mentioned, where the Qur'an gathers dust, where Salah is skipped casually, cannot expect barakah. Because barakah is not bought. Barakah is invited. Barakah is earned. Barakah is gifted by Allah when He sees sincerity. The erosion of Islamic roles. The foundation of marriage collapses when roles collapse. Islam never created competition between husband and wife. It created complementarity. But today, instead of completing each other, spouses compete with each other. Husbands want dominance without responsibility. Wives want independence without accountability. Both want freedom, but neither wants discipline. Islam made roles clear. Husband's role, Qawwam, the guardian, the maintainer. Not a dictator. Not a tyrant. Not a boss. A guardian, responsible for the emotional security of the home, the financial stability of the family, the spiritual well-being of the household, the discipline needed for growth, the kindness needed for harmony. His strength is not muscles, but character, not authority, but responsibility, not anger, but patience. Wife's role, a source of tranquility and moral strength, not a servant, not a decoration, not a competitor, a partner responsible for creating comfort in the home, being a source of moral direction, preserving modesty, supporting the emotional climate of the family, raising the next generation of believers, offering wisdom, counsel, and compassion. Her strength is not beauty, but loyalty, not appearance, but sincerity, not perfection, but her heart. But today roles are reversed, confused, or rejected. Men are distracted. Women are exhausted. Children are ignored. Homes are collapsing. Because when the roles Allah designed are abandoned, the harmony Allah promised disappears. The epidemic of hurting each other. The biggest tragedy in Muslim marriages today is not divorce. It is emotional cruelty. Husbands and wives hurt each other more than any outsider ever could. And the cruelty is not always physical. Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is sarcasm. Sometimes it is ignoring the other person's pain. Sometimes it is emotional manipulation. Sometimes it is comparison. Look at other husbands. Look at other wives. Look at other families. These comparisons, these tiny daggers, slowly kill the heart of a marriage. Allah did not create marriage for two people to compete in hurting each other. Marriage was created so two people could protect each other, heal each other, guide each other, support each other, strengthen each other. But today, the one place where Muslims should feel safest, their own home, has become the place they feel most attacked. The silent suffering of wives. There is a silent pain inside many Muslim homes. The pain of women who suffer emotionally, quietly, patiently, unseen. They smile outside, but inside they are drowning.
Why?
Because their husbands don't listen. Their husbands don't appreciate. Their husbands don't communicate. Their husbands don't express love. Their husbands don't show mercy. Their husbands don't spiritually guide. Women don't need palaces. Women don't need diamonds. Women don't need luxury. Women need affection,
Time.
attention,
Respect.
safety, emotional connection. A woman can live in a small house, but if she feels loved, she will feel like a queen. A woman can live in a mansion, but if she feels ignored, she will feel imprisoned. And Allah is watching how men treat their wives. Because the Prophet said, "The best of you are the best to their wives." Not the best salah, not the best beard, not the best knowledge, but the best character at home. The silent suffering of husbands. Men also suffer silently, deeply, quietly, in ways women don't always understand. A man carries pressures he never speaks about. the pressure to earn, the pressure to provide, the pressure to stay strong, the pressure to suppress emotions, the pressure to solve every problem, the pressure to never break. And many men feel unappreciated, disrespected, unsupported, blamed, compared, emotionally rejected. A man may love deeply, but express it differently. He may not use poetic words. He may not express feelings clearly. He may not show emotions easily. He may not talk much. He may not cry. But that does not mean he does not feel. Men break too. They just break differently. And a wise wife knows. Respect for a husband is what love is for a wife. Respect builds a man. Disrespect destroys him. And Allah is watching how women treat their husbands. When children suffer because parents fail, when a marriage collapses, it is not just two people who suffer. The entire next generation suffers. Children become victims of cold arguments, silent wars, emotional distance, a lack of affection, toxic environment, parental bitterness, a verbal abuse. Children who grow up in broken marriages often develop anxiety, struggle emotionally, lose respect for Islam, distrust marriage, become rebellious, seek love in the wrong places. Every harsh word between parents is a knife in a child's heart. Every fight is a crack in their innocence. Every argument is a wound in their personality. Parents think the child is not listening, but the child hears everything, feels everything, remembers everything. A peaceful marriage is not just for adults. It is for the emotional stability of the next generation of the Ummah.